Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, December 25th. This is another video of the series of the World Junior Championship 2022 by the hockey coach, your coach FRENCHY. This is the last one. We're going to talk about Team Canada. So don't go nowhere to know more about the roster and the profile of each players. Oh yeah, this is the time of the holidays. It's a time to celebrate. It's a time to sharing. It's the most important thing. It's a time to love everybody else around us, your family and your friends. So hopefully you had an amazing, great holiday so far. But before we start, we want to invite you, please click on the likes. And of course, if you did not subscribe, I invite you to subscribe to Hockey Nation Live Show. And finally, tell us, what do you think about Team Canada? Do you believe they're going to win the gold medal for the WJC 2022? So let's dive in talking about Team Canada. And the first thing I want to talk, if of course we always talk, is the roster of each team. And the first thing is Team Canada. Listen, guys, this is packed. This is unbelievable. Another team of Canada with skill, with potential. A lot of first round inside of that, and the potential to become a first round overall in the next 2 years come from Canada. So let's talk about Perfetti. He was there last year. Dylan Guenther, he was there last year. What about MacTavish? He could become the MVP of that tournament. Zodif, we talk about Burke. We talk about Ken Johnson, Neighbors, Shane Wright, finally with the team. What about Connor Bedard? Yes, Bedard. We'll talk about him. Stankoven, Lapierre, Dean, and Riley Gregg. What about the defensemen? Talk about Owen Power. Talk about Caden Coley, the captain of the team. Lucas Cormier, O'Rourke, Hand, Zellweger, and Zelle. What about the goaltender? Be also the goaltender of the tournament, Sebastian Cossa, the 6'5", then Dylan Garen from the New York Rangers, and then Brett Brochu. So this gives you an idea what the roster of Canada are so much deep. And also, we could have more. That's the crazy. They have to cut players like Byfield was hurt, and he was there last season. Talk about Brent Clark, another great defenseman. And I can go all the way that list over there, but unfortunately, they cannot make it. They just need, they have at some point limit the roster of each team. So I want to talk about, first of all, guys, is Shane Wright. Everybody wait for him. It's a time for him to elevate his game, but also, everybody mentioned he's going to be the first round overall pick at NHL Draft 2022. And it'll be interesting to watching Shane Wright this year with the Team Canada. Didn't make it last season. So the center of 6'1", 187, 2004 born, and he plays right now for the Kingston Frontenac on OHL. Listen, the expectation from him are high for him, but I know he can deliver. He's maybe one of the best center, and that tournament play two ways. So much he's good on offense, or so much he's great on the defense. He had not many mistakes, but he had not many things he cannot do. He is really full potential to become one of the great hockey players in NHL. He's not a Connor McDavid, but honestly, he's the kind of players we can make an impact, a cornerstone for any franchise in NHL. That's how he is talented, his skill. So it will be interesting to see follow Shine. I invite you to read the comments about him here. We can pause the video. We can read about. But listen, everybody is going to watching Shine Wright for the upcoming WGC 2022. The next one I want to talk about, guys, is who? Yes, Connor Bedard. He's one of the rare players at 16 years old make Team Canada. We talk about Lindros, talk about, Gretzky, Eiselman. They are rare, make it. And 98 for the regional pass, Connor Bedard did it. Of course, he's going to be compared with Minchkov for the Russian team, and Bedard is going to be drafted on 2023 and 2 years in NHL. He's going to be always compete with Mitch Cobb all the way, all the time. Not only this tournament, but forever. And it will be interesting what Connor can do this year with Team Canada. Listen, he's only eligible, like I mentioned, 2023, but this is another McDavid area. Matthews, and the skill, the potential he has is unbelievable. Bedard has. So it'll be interesting to see him with Team Canada for this year. One thing we're going to always remember, like I mentioned to you, I'm going to talk about this a bit later during other videos, the comparison between Mitch Cobb and Bedard. So I'm going to give you more information about both players at some point. But again, we have to go back with the profile for the lineup of the roster for the Team Canada. You can see 19, 19, 19. And they have two defensemen at 18 years old. They all will be draft guys. You have only three players of that roster did not draft yet. And because they are not eligible until this year, two of them, and then in 2 years, Bedard. So we have the goaltender, Barough, and Shane Wright. Everybody else, guys, are being drafted. That's how deep is this team, guys. And many of them are first-round pick. So just give you an idea, this team have a full potential to win the goal, and it will be interesting how they can do that this year. So you can read about this. You can look where they play, everything like that. But I want to go a little bit deeper about their profile. You can see Barough right now. He will be undrafted eligible for 2021. But we have Cossa. Cossa, he was drafted 15 overall by the Detroit Red Wings. We have also Dylan Garand for the New York Rangers. Just signed his contract, 4 round is a 103 overall pick. So it will be interesting. But again, Cossa is the number one of that team. Is the goaltender, can carry on that team all the way like Levy did last year for Team Canada. Defenseman, Rona Sealy will be a part of this. He's another Everett Silver Tips. He was a 7th round, 208 overall by the Carolina Hurricane. We had Jack Thompson and also Olen Zellweger. I want to talk about Zellweger. He is a defenseman for Everett Silver Tip, exactly like Sealy. A 2nd round, 34 overall by Anaheim Ducks. It's almost the 1st round, guys. And he plays so much great this year with the Silver Tips. Is the one you're going to be impressed the way he play, and he's good. He's a great mix and a great player with, compared for Guhle and Owen Power. He bring a lot deep inside the Team Canada. The next one I want to talk about for defenseman, of course, is from the OHL. He was drafted 39 overall. Couple of draft pick after Zellweger is Ryan O'Rourke. Great defenseman again. That's the one is going to bring the deep depth on the Team Canada. That's what they are. What about Owen Power? Number 1, 1st round, 1st overall by the Buffalo Sabres. Play right now with NCAA on the Team Michigan, the World War Rings. Look, he's going to be the number 1 defenseman. We're going to play over 25 minutes for the Team Canada. The big guy, 6'6", is going to bring a lot of good sense of hockey for the Team Canada. Then Donovan Zebrago, a 3rd round, 63 overall pick by the Detroit Red Wings in 2020. That's another deep depth of the Detroit Red Wings as a defenseman. We know they have Zeder. We know Edmondson play for Sweden. This is another one that's doing very well right now for the Grand Rapids Griffin in American Hockey League, Sebrenko. Now we have to move on to the other defenseman. We have Damon Hunt for the WHL, a draft by the Minnesota Wild. We have also Carson Lambos. It was draft 1st round, 26 overall by the Minnesota Wild. That's a great players, guys. He plays so much good this year. And with the Winnipeg Ice, we know Winnipeg Ice, one of the top best 3 team in the CHL this year. Now we have to move on with other 2 defensemen and conclude that. It's Lucas Cormier, draft by the Vegas Golden Knights, 68 overall. And then the captain of Team Canada, from not anymore for Prince Albert, but from now Edmonton Oil Kings, just get, and the 1st round, 16 overall by the Montreal Canadiens, the captain from Team Canada, Guhle. You talk about, potentially to have maybe the best two defensemen and that tournament from Team Canada, him and Owen Power, is going to be an amazing, great pair of the defense. If they play together, they are big, huge, and they can skate. They can carry on the offensive, and also they can play very well on the defense, on the special team. So both players going to be great for the Team Canada. Again, now the forward, Justin Sourdif, 87 overall pick by the Florida Panthers. Play right now in WHL for the Vancouver Giants. Have a good year so far. We have also Logan Stankoven, second round, 47 overall by the Dallas Star. Play right now in WHL with the Kamloops Blazer. We have, of course, Shane Wright. We already talked about him a little bit earlier. Let's move on for other players. Jake Neighbors started the season in NHL with the Blues. Play a couple of games before he was returned with Edmonton Oilers Kings. That team is another great team in WHL. He was the 26th overall pick by the Blues. What about Cole Perfetti for the Moose? He played right now for the American Hockey League. He was a 10th overall pick by the Winnipeg Jets. A great year right now in the American Hockey League. He could be the MVP at that tournament like any others from Team Canada. What about Hendrix Lapierre for the QM for the Washington Capitals, 22nd overall, play for Capitals during the season. Obviously, he was returned. Then Mason MacTavish, guy. Mason MacTavish, OMG. And then great couple of games with Anaheim Ducks, was returned a couple of weeks ago with the Peterborough Petes, third overall pick behind Owen Power. Look, we talk about Cole Perfetti to become the player of the tournament. What about Mason MacTavish? He's going to carry on the team also on his shoulder, Team Canada. First round, the first center of that team, play on special team, power play. As another guy with a lot of skill and talent, and also very physical. We have also Riley Gregg for the Brenton Red Kings, WHL, 28th overall pick, but Ottawa Senator. We know the only thing he needs to be shown that tournament to be out of the penalty box. We know the temper he has, but again, he's another great deep players inside that team. Talking about Dylan Gwender for the Edmonton WHL, another first round, 9 overall, but Arizona Coyotes, another great plus for them. Finally, Ken Johnson, University of Michigan in CA, 2021 first round, 5th overall by the Columbus Blue Jacket. This is another great players. It's just the way they play, the way they carry on. It could be the same thing like MacTavish. We talk about a Perfetti. He's going to be a great asset for Team Canada. We have Xavier Bourgault, Maverick Bourque, and Quinton Byfield. Unfortunately, he's not there. Now, some of them, I mentioned the profile right now. They are not playing for Team Canada for a reason. One of them got cut, some injuries, and some stay in NHL. So I want to be sure you understand. I want to give you a bit more information. You need to know about all the potential, the players he could get at Team Canada for the World Junior Championship. So, guys, this concludes the roster and the profile of Team Canada. Amazing, deep players inside that team. What are you going to finish, Coach? They're going to be in the final. Of course, the ride or the journey is not going to be easy. They have a lot of other great teams inside that tournament, and they have to play at the high level all the way. The pressure will be there for sure for them, but again, I believe they have everything to make all the way to the end and maybe win the gold medal for the WJC 2022. I'm going to make another video to give you my prediction, but I want just sharing with you what I'm thinking about Team Canada. But before we leave, I want to remind you, of course, you have greatness inside of you, and of course, I will be great if you can subscribe, click on the likes if you like this video, and tell us what is your expectation from Team Canada this year. And until then, I wish you an amazing, great day, and Merry Christmas again. Happy holidays. Mes amis du Québec, je vous souhaite une très belle journée et certainement joyeux Noël avec vos amis et votre famille. Et finalement, n'oubliez pas de vous abonner. Dites-moi ce que vous pensez de l'équipe Canada. Et si vous avez bien aimé la vidéo, cliquez sur le petit pouce en haut. Et j'espère de vous revoir plus tard pour une autre vidéo avec l'entraîneur coach FRENCHY.
Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light.